Hello, to all the Formula One fans all over the world. So, I just want to bring you the quick debrief of free practice 3 for this weekend's Italian Grand Prix. So, in the last session, Sainz put it first, he had first position in free practice 2, and he did repeat it again in free practice 3. So, it looks like at Ferrari's home ground, they found an upgrade, or they found some pace on one or two quick laps. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure about if it can last the whole race at full pace. That's one thing the Ferrari's been struggling with over the last few years. I remember the battles with Mercedes in 18 and 19, and also their battles with Red Bull in 2022. So moving on in that session, Lewis Hamilton was very close to uh, the the Williams of Logan Sargent, but he didn't really mind. He looks like he had his wits about him, and his engineer Peter Bonington, Mercedes engineer Peter Bonington, came on the radio and said, "Look, Lewis, your time is okay, but you need to find half a second to the Red Bull in first position right now." And he said, "Look, I'm doing what I can, but how am I gonna find half a second?" So that was what Mercedes was looking for, like midway through the session. They were looking for half a second. And also, there's a new qualifying system for the weekend. So they're gonna have one tire allocation for each session. So let's say the first practice, the first qualifying Q1, you're gonna have the yellow tire. Then the second qualifying session, you're gonna have the red tire. Then the last qualifying session, you're gonna have the white tire. That's how it went for the. That's how they planned it for this weekend. The new qualifying system. So you had Alonso in fifth position, and he's talking about there's gonna be a surprise for qualifying, that everyone behind him is slow, because his engineer was like, everyone behind you is slow, and he's like, oh, they're gonna have a surprise for qualifying. I think what he was talking about was like them slowing down to find space. It might not be, it might not be in their favor or whatever he was saying. And also during that session, FP3, there was some on track traffic. Norris, he came behind some traffic, and he struggled there. And then you had Piastri and Carlos Sainz into the first chicane, the first turn. They had a little clash, and Piastri, I think, had to take some avoiding action. But guess what now? I think they had it coming together in the last Grand Prix as well. I think, no, it was in Belgium. Yeah, when Piastri and Sainz had it coming together, when Piastri had to retire. So it looks like they crossing paths a lot, these days. So that's one battle that Formula One has to watch out for, between Piastri and Sainz. So yeah, it's all friendly fire. But you had a good session for both the Haas drivers as well. Yeah, it was Magnussen. He finished in P7, and Hulkenberg finished in P8. So it looks like Haas, they're gonna have a little bit of pace, in qualifying and the race as well. And then you had Alexander Albon. He was in P9 as well. He was in P9, so that's a good look for him. And yeah, on to the next one. So qualifying is coming up next.